Welcome again to another episode of From My Perspective. I'm your boy Dion coming to you with it. Uh while you guys are here, we appreciate you so much for joining us. Please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, hit that link in the bio for some merch. Thank you. Cannot thank you enough. We thank you a million times. And once again, I'm your boy Dion, joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Captain Hater. Q, how you doing?
Man, what to do, what it is. You already know the vibes of show. Boy, Mr. Bear, aka say your name up on this pod. Might not put you the mob. What's up, Dion?
Hey man, I'm doing good, man. You said it last episode. October is great.
It is.
It's a lot of sports, but it's a lot of sports to keep up with, man. My TV and my computer ain't enough. That's all. It ain't enough. Sunday was rough. I'm trying to watch football, trying to watch WNBA playoffs. I'm trying to watch MLB playoffs. It's a lot, but the WNBA finals have been going okay. It hasn't been competitive. First game was competitive.
I'm going to say the first game was competitive.
I watched the first game. I thought the Phoenix was going to pull it out, but that last possession they couldn't. It was great defense in that last possession by the Aces to close that one out. Did not watch game two. You watched game two, but it was not close at all. I was watching game three. Then it got to the fourth quarter, about 18 Aces was up about 18 points. I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and check out. Let me tap into some MLB playoffs. Let me watch the Rays and the Yankees. I get a notification that Asia Wilson hit a game win. I'm like, what did I miss? And so I'm upset about that. But the first three games, how you feeling? First time, 7 game series. Looks like we might end up getting a sweep. Hopefully not, but that's what it's looking like right now.
How I'm feeling is we not gonna get to a game seven. That's how I'm feeling. And I was so looking forward to the Mercury and the Aces going to game seven. The first year the WNBA finals go to 7 games. I was looking forward to it. Even though we did pick the Aces. We both picked the Aces going into this. You still wanted to go to game seven. I wanted this Asia Wilson shot that she hit in game three to close out the game. I wanted that to be in game seven.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted Miss I wanted CAT ball out in up until game seven. Hell, Cooper was knocking down three. They was getting so probably when you cut game three off.
Yeah.
Mercury, you know what I'm saying? The Mercury was getting it was about 17 points at one time, the league. The league was 17 points. They worked their way back. Next thing I know, Kalia Cooper. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the name right. I had it right all day today because I knew we was gonna talk about it on the pod. I've been having it right all day. Now I get on the pod, I'm starting getting tongue tied and stuff. But Cooper came through and wow. I'm like, okay, they got a little fight. Cut the lead down a little more because by then it was already up on 10. Came through with another shot, then hit another three. I'm talking about hands in the face, over. Knocked down three. The Aces had to call timeout because it was 83 to 84, 82 to 83, something like that. Then Asia Wilson did her thing. She showed why she was the MVP.
Yeah, she definitely showed why she's the MVP and why she will probably be holding that Finals MVP trophy. My question for you, Game 4 is tomorrow. Do we get to a game 6? Do we get to a game 5 or a game 6? Because I don't think it gets to a game 7 either. But can they at least get to a game 6? Maybe a 5?
Well, with Satou going down, you know what I'm saying, prayers and thoughts to her. Because that concussion, you could see it. Like as soon as it happened, you could see it. Because she fell, like I said, she took a couple steps and fell back down. With outside too, because she's the one she started the game off high. She was the one who was keeping them in the game at the beginning. I don't I don't want it to be a sweep. I want it, like you said, I don't think it's gonna go seven at this point, but if we could get it to game five and the Aces win on their home court, I want can we at least get that? Do I think that's going to happen? Yes. I'm going to say the Phoenix Mercury is not going to mail it in. They're going to win game four.
Yeah.
I hope I'm right.
Yeah, I just want some. We got, like I said, competitive game one, game two was not close. Game three ended up being competitive. Yeah, game three ended up being competitive, even though it looked like it was going to be a blowout. So hopefully we get a competitive game four tomorrow. Hopefully the Mercury extends the series a little bit because I like to watch basketball. NBA basketball is coming around the corner. They got some preseason games. Though Captain Hater, before we slide over to the next sport, have you been watching any preseason games or how you feeling?
Yeah, I watched a couple preseason games. I know my Pacers won our first. That's about we won our first preseason game. Can't speak on everybody else, but five NBA seasons. Like you said, it's kind of a lot to take in right now.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it doesn't actually start until like towards the like a couple weeks from now. So then the WNBA be over. The world we should be in the World Series type situation. So it'd be a little less. It'd be a little less for me, especially right now because we in this period where it's gonna be a college or an NFL game on for what like 49 days, 47 days straight. Yeah, it's a lot for your boy. Hell, last night I was flipping back and forth when the WNBA would go on commercial. I was flipping the Missouri State or Liberty was playing. I forgot who Liberty was playing, but Missouri State and Middle Tennessee was playing. Missouri State and Middle Tennessee State was playing. Then Liberty was playing somebody UTEP. I'm flipping back and forth trying to keep up with a lot of it.
Yeah, it's tough.
It does become a lot, but I
And
also don't like commercials, so I'll be flipping.
and don't forget, NHL it started too. So like we got all these sports, man. It is, whew, it's tough.
Hold on, Dion. Let's not do that. You know me, you are not ain't watching the NHL.
Nah, I mean I got the notification. I get the notifications. I
You
get
get
the
the notification.
notification.
I'm gonna pick a team. I'm gonna pick a team soon.
You gotta put that in the hat. If you pick a team, I'll pick a team because I gotta get into it. I mean, I know we don't talk about a lot of NHL, but anybody that I've talked to have said going to an NHL game is probably the best sport to go to, and I'm gonna need to test that theory, and I'll test that theory one day. But let's go ahead and talk about some MLB as the playoffs is here. The postseason is here and it's hot. We are getting real close to having every team ready for their conference finals. It's going to be the Tampa Bay Rays. They beat the Yankees. Now, you thought the Yankees was gonna win. I thought the Yankees were gonna win. We got some apologizing to do. Aaron Judge actually did show up though. You can't blame Aaron Judge. He showed up. He didn't show up last year in the World Series and he got a lot of heat for it. But he actually showed up this time around, made some good plays. But he wasn't enough for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the Tampa Bay Rays. Uh, the Cubs are right now they're leading the Brewers, trying to send it to a game five. The Dodgers they just beat the Phillies, and they're going to be moving on in a dramatic fashion in 11 innings. So they punched their ticket, and then you got the Mariners and the Detroit Tigers. They're going to a game five tomorrow. How you feeling though? Baseball is hot. This is it right here. The postseason is hot and going heavy.
First, I would like to apologize to the Toronto Blue Jays. I was unfamiliar with your game. My apologies to you and your fan base. I will not doubt you again. I will pick you now to go to the World Series. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because we see what just happened when I picked the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That might not. Yeah, I might not want me picking y'all, but I was watching those games and I said, "Oh, I was wrong." I was, and I could admit when I'm wrong. It's why a lot of people don't be predicting games, but I go with my gut. So no, Toronto Blue Jays. My apologies for that. Can we? The Dodgers are a loaded roster,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to figure out the Milwaukee Brewers had the best. They had the best record in the NL all season, but I'm trying to figure out how the Dodgers did. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I know Shohei Ohtani was out for a little bit, but still.
I think the Dodgers they're in that mode where we just gonna be on cruise control to the postseason.
But I don't feel like baseball do that. I feel like NFL and the NBA do that. don't feel like baseball. They play every
I definitely, but they got 162 games. They be on
day.
cruise control. There be teams that know they're not going to the playoffs. They'll still be on cruise control. 162? That's a lot of games.
Yeah, you're right. That's a lot of games. I just didn't feel like baseball did it. I feel like, I know you know basketball. You know basketball. The NBA does. You know them dudes like, oh yeah, we gonna make the playoffs. We gonna chill a little bit. I just feel like it's kind of hard to fake the fun because they play every day.
Yeah,
Legit, they play every day.
they
So
might get 2 days off in the 2 days off in the month.
that's we need to we you know what we need to do next summer. Talk about the MLB schedule because something needs to change about that. But yeah, I question how the Dodgers didn't have end up with the number one overall in as far as in the NL. But it's the reason the Milwaukee Brewers is there. But like
Yeah,
I said, they in a battle right now with the Cubs. We'll see how that play out. We'll know better about tomorrow. But it's kind of hard to pick against the Dodgers.
yeah, you can't. I mean, right now, I think I'm a ride with from what you said. I mean, Tampa Bay and the Dodgers in the playoffs. I mean, some people don't like repeat champions, but I mean, they got the stars. It's going, hey, Tampa Bay versus Dodgers. We'll see. I think Tampa Bay has a chance to be. I don't think the Dodgers is unbeatable.
Yeah.
I think I look forward to it, but you can't count out the Brewers. And you definitely can't count out the Cubs either. I mean, they still fight against the Brewers, but and I don't want to discredit the Mariners or the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers was on fire most of the season. Like I was keeping up with the Detroit Tigers because I knew I was going to take a trip to Detroit. I was thinking about going to a Detroit Tigers game. I was keeping up with them. They was like number one for a little bit, fell off a little bit, and obviously Seattle. They have Cal, who was the home run leader, who was just lighting it up. So probably what maybe the MVP gets one of the better teams. So we'll see. You can't count them two teams out.
As a catcher.
I would actually now when I'm talking thinking about it, I would like to see Cal have a chance in the World Series. I just you had this great season. Can you cap it off by getting into the World Series and maybe win it? So I'm gonna change it from the Tampa Bay Rays and pick the Mariners to go ahead and go to the World Series against the Dodgers.
Rays fans, remember that was Dion that picked against y'all. It wasn't me this
Yeah,
time. That was Dion. But now he's doing all of this as a catcher.
yeah. It was
And
just
it's a lot on the body to be a catcher, and then you control. You know what I'm saying? Not almost like controlling, but working with the pitching staff. So
mhm.
you also respond. He's responsible more so than anybody on that team for where they at now. Not just because of the home runs, but the way he helped the pitchers and got them through the game. So I think he's got to win MVP over Judge, and that's no shade to Judge. But you said something about repeat champions. I guess we could save that for a later day. But I think dynasties help because it's you have everybody has somebody to root against.
Yep.
You either for them or against them. I think that might. I think those a short dynasty run like a team that wins 2 or 3 championships in a row actually gives a little more umph to the games, whether
Yep.
it's football, baseball, or basketball.
You make a great point, and you make a great point with that. So maybe seeing the Dodgers versus up and coming team like the Rays or going up against one of the best players this year who had a great year in Cal and the Seattle Mariners, it might be great. I'm gonna piggyback off you with Cal. Like he probably should win it. And no, going back to Cal being the catcher. In my earlier days watching baseball, I thought pitchers like the quarterback of the team, this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
Um, when I was in college and I was lifting, we had an interim strength and conditioning coordinator who was actually a strength and conditioning coordinator for the minor league baseball team for the White Sox. He did that for them, and we had a conversation with him. And I asked him about like what like is the pitchers like the quarterback of the team? He's like, no, it's the catcher. And he put it in perspective of everybody has the view of a game this way, the catcher has the opposite view of the game as he's looking the opposite way, and he's the one more than likely controlling what the pitcher's going to pitch, where the pitcher's going to throw. He has all the scouting reports on all these pitches. So being a catcher is no joke, and like I said, it's hard on the body, on their knees, trying to catch these balls. Balls coming at them 100 miles per hour every day. then they gotta catch it. So gotta piggyback off that. So Cal, I hope you win it. We'll see. But they like Aaron Judge a lot. But let's go ahead and slide to some college football. A lot happened. Louisville lost. We're not gonna talk too much about that nonsense.
I was there.
It was nonsense. It was nonsense. But we have a chance to redeem ourselves, not this week, but next week, as against a team that I will be talking about here in a second. But before we go into our top 10, because we're a couple weeks into the season, I think it's a good time to actually give our top 10. We got to talk about a team in Pennsylvania. Last week, we talked bad about them a little bit. Like, y'all lost another big time game, which they did. And I was like, okay, they lost the game, but they got a chance to get back. They got a couple big games coming up. They got a quote unquote bye week. That was me disrespecting UCLA, but that's because UCLA was just that bad. Outside of North Carolina, they was the second worst Power Four team?
I
Maybe
wouldn't
the
say that.
worst.
I wouldn't say that. I
Man,
wouldn't say North Carolina was second. That's my point. Yes, they UCLA is the worst.
oh,
But
UCLA was the worst. So
yeah,
yeah,
I
but
would say
it's
North Carolina.
UCLA and North Carolina. But Penn State went to UCLA. Granted, time changed, other side of the country. But you're not supposed to lose that game. Not in the fashion that they lost. And I know you've been down on James Franklin a while. If you the AD, how you feeling?
Why you want me to set it up so I can say that man, you got to fire that man.
I didn't say you had to. I'm just saying how you feeling. I didn't say you should fire. How you feeling?
But you know what I'm about to say. So you set it up so I could. Yeah, he lost to UCLA. They ain't won a game. They are here with an interim coach. They head coach got fired in
That
about the
stadium
third
was only like 20% full too.
week three. They head coach got fired in week three. He didn't even make it to halfway through the season, and their head coach got fired. But you lost to that team. Now you're right. James Franklin did have to get his team prepared to travel across country. That's fair, and that that's a legitimate reason. You shouldn't have you shouldn't have college students that play on the East Coast flying to the West Coast to play a conference game.
Anyway, yeah. I mean that's probably number one.
College sports should be regional. I mean, that's just college. College sports should be regional. Can they play each other every once in a while? Yeah, but it should be a daggone conference game. Let's neither here nor there. That ship has sailed. It is what it is. It's crazy. The only conference that actually makes sense is the SEC.
And it's still a little bit out of whack, but that mean
But
they
every team they got is actually in the South.
yeah,
The only one you can question is Missouri.
yeah.
That's not in the South. All the rest of them is actually in the South. Now, if you Texas and Oklahoma, why would you join that? Texas, you just lost to Florida. Why would you? Okay,
Yeah.
let me go back to Penn State. Deion, that man, you got to fire. You can't,
Oh,
you can't,
did
Deion, you can't lose to UCLA. They was over for. They fired their coach, and like you said, ain't nobody in the stands. There's more people in my house right now than there was in the stands of that daggone game. Oh, Deion, what we talking about?
he?
You gotta fire that man, or you
If
give
you
him
fire, okay, my question is, if you fire that man, who do you get?
the head coach of North Texas.
Okay.
I mean, I figured we was gonna get there. I forgot that man's name, but yeah.
All right, so I agree. But nobody's more upset about the downfall of Penn State. That mean I guess they got a chance to make the playoffs. I mean, it's 12. They will have to win out, which means they have to be Ohio State and Indiana, who are in both. They're in my top. Both of them teams is in my top 10. I don't know about you. I know you don't really like Indiana that much, but they will have to run the table. But I'm upset, man, because I had Penn State winning it all. Like when we did our prediction about college football with Seneca all those weeks ago, I had Drew Allen winning the Heisman. I had Penn State winning it all. I thought they was going to be motivated after losing to Notre Dame last season in the heartbreaking fashion they did. They got some receivers. They showed me nothing, and I was wrong. I apologize, but we'll get to top 10. Texas, another team I was wrong about too.
Yeah, we always wrong about Texas. We always wrong about Texas. I don't feel like I'm saying nothing crazy because I don't think he's gonna run the table. So I don't feel like I'm saying nothing crazy about him getting fired.
No, it's not that crazy.
And but that's the thing. Penn State won't get back to their glory days with Joe Paterno. But where was you before? And what was you, towards the end? What was you in between James Franklin and Joe Paterno? I feel like the pressure is going to make them fire him. Not necessarily saying he deserves to be fired, but the pressure. I'm saying he deserves to be fired because he lost to UCLA. He deserves to be fired. But I also think the pressure is going to get to them. Now, that being said, I also believe James Franklin could leave Penn State, go to another Power Four school, and have them in national championship contention too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it like James Franklin is a bad recruiter or a bad coach. He might be able to win the big game if he goes somewhere else. It might be time for James Franklin to have a change of scenery.
Hey, sometimes that works.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but as far as him and Penn State, I think it might be time to chuck them deuces like Chris Brown said.
Hey, it might be, but let's go ahead and get to our top tens. I will give mine. I'm looking at the AP top 25. My top 10 is a little different, not too much different, but pretty much the same 10 teams, but different ordering. I'm gonna start out with my number one team. My number one team is Miami. I watched a couple Miami games. I think they are the best team out there right now. So I'm gonna go with Miami one. I have Ohio State two. This is where I'm different from the AP top 25 a lot. I have Oklahoma three, Oregon four, Ole Miss five, Texas A&M six. Uh, yeah, Texas A&M six, Indiana seven, Texas Tech eight, and Alabama nine, and Georgia 10.
Okay. Can I say first,
Mm-hmm.
I I didn't struggle with my top four. I struggled, and I didn't struggle with the next. Well, I did. I didn't struggle with my top four. The next after that, I started to struggle. So, Maz is a little. I do have Miami at number one. I do believe Miami is the best college football team out right now. The best college football team player right now, in my personal opinion, from my perspective, is Miami.
Yeah.
This is where I differ from you. I have Oregon at two.
Okay.
I have Texas A&M at three. I have Ohio State at four.
All right.
Now, 5, 6, and 7.
So before you're not, I'm assuming you get there. You're not that high on Oklahoma.
I I'm not. I am, but I'm not because I got Ole Miss at 5.
Okay.
I got Oklahoma at 6, and I got Indiana at 7.
All right.
So when I originally wrote this, I did have Oklahoma. I had Oklahoma at 4, but then I started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, how do I feel about Ohio State? And I was like, I still think Ohio. I don't think they're number one, and I don't think they're number two, but I still feel like Ohio State is a top 5 team in this country right now. So I didn't feel at the time comfortable putting Oklahoma above them or Ole Miss, and it might be recency bias because I did watch Ole Miss this past. I watched the full game of the Ole Miss this past week.
Yeah.
As where Oklahoma was the previous week where I watched the full game. So it might be some recency bias in that. Indiana is at 7. You know why Indiana didn't go above nobody else. You know what it is. And I feel like I'm taking some bias out and not putting them that high. We shall see when they play against other people. After that, I put Bama in Georgia. I put Alabama at 8. I put Georgia at 9. My number 10 I struggled with. Because at first I was going Texas Tech. But then I was like, Texas Tech ain't really ain't play nobody. So I started looking at Georgia Tech. And then Georgia Tech ain't really play nobody.
Oh.
But do I really want to put? Then I start thinking about LSU. And I was like, do I? Then I thought about Tennessee. So my number 10, I end up settling on Texas Tech.
Okay.
But that number 10 is fluid. What's Steve A. Smith say? It's fluid.
It's fluid.
It's fluid.
The
Because that number,
whole list is fluid. It could change.
it's going to change by Saturday.
Sorry, it could change Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to change by Saturday. But that number 10 really is fluid, yeah, because I couldn't. It's so many. It's so many teams, but it ain't because it's so many teams that's like outstanding or great. It's because it's so many teams that's really good. And it's like, don't none of y'all really stand out amongst the others. Alabama and Georgia, even though they got one loss, they stand out over an undefeated Texas Tech or Georgia Tech.
Okay.
So, from my perspective, they do.
I got you. I got you. I'm a little bit more of a believer in Texas, and I listen to some podcasts. They spent a lot of money on their roster this year, so I'm a little bit more believer now. Granted, they in the Big 12. They ain't played nobody for real.
They didn't play nobody.
They ain't played nobody, so I get it. But the team I'm really high on outside of, I said my top three is Miami, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. Outside of Miami and Ohio State, I'm really high on Oklahoma. I'm really, really high on John Mateer, especially after watching him in. It was the Michigan game and the game after Michigan where he messed up his hand. I forgot exactly who they played, but he had a tremendous game. And I felt like he was the Heisman frontrunner. He did get hurt. He messed up his thumb, but he's attempting to play against their rivals. That game was Auburn, by the way, where he messed up his thumb. But he is attempting to return against their rival back in Dallas against Texas. If he returns and has a great showing, they might as well go ahead and ship that man his Heisman.
Ooh, you think so?
That's how I'm feeling. If he returns and has a great showing, they might as well ship that man his Heisman. Even though I know Texas is down, especially after last week. But that's still a rivalry game. This is the river rivalry. The Texas State Fair is going to be there. People's going to have some fat chicken legs in their hand. They're going to have some funnel cakes. They're going to have a good time. It's going to be rowdy, but it's a big time game. If John Material, which they said he's going to attempt to play, if he plays and has a great showing, they can go ahead and ship him his Heisman from my perspective.
I feel like, what's it, Dante Moore? Is that Oregon? I believe
Oh,
it.
yep, don't take more.
Yeah. I feel like, for me, from my perspective right now, I think he would be my Heisman favorite.
But I would say it's probably Dante Moore right now, just because John Material was out. I mean, they had a bye and he was out the last game. But he was my favorite after the Auburn game, but he's obviously going down. But
Hold on,
uh,
real quick. Because you brought it up. Oklahoma and Texas is going to play at the state fair. Do you know how long this daggone fair is?
long as hell.
It's like 28 days.
Oh, this is only like 2 weeks.
Bruh. But I'm like, how the hell? I got other for 4 daggone weeks selling. All right, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I was kind of like, yeah, man. I guess because we from Kentucky, I'm not used to that.
Yeah. But
24
just
days, not 28, 24. I'm sorry.
but just to give a little thought, obviously Oklahoma, Texas plays other big games. Your favorite team, Indiana, they are going to up there to Eugene, Oregon. They get a chance to play the Oregon Ducks. That's going to be a big that game. College game. I don't know what college game day is. They should go to that game. Um, Ohio State is going into Champaign, Illinois. So 1 versus 17. And Alabama is going to Missouri. So we got some good games. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good Saturday. Outside of that, nothing else really stands out. Florida, they play at Texas A&M. Florida just got a big win, but outside of that, there's nothing that really stands out to me.
Can I talk about Louisville just real quick? I know you said,
Yeah,
can
go ahead.
I just get 1 minute? It ain't gonna be a minute. It's gonna be 10 seconds. Miller Moss ain't it. Stop getting these transfer quarterbacks and get you one that you're gonna develop. That's all. I just wanted to get that off.
I'm gonna put some positivity out there. Everything is still in front of us, guys. I do know we got probably the hardest game, not probably the hardest game on our schedule coming up next Friday. But don't tell me, Q, if Louisville goes to down there to Miami and wins that game next Friday, you're not getting back on that bandwagon.
Oh, I never said I was off the bandwagon.
Okay.
I'm always my seat is permanent on this train. You know what I'm saying? I'm permanently here. But I could complain about who's driving the train.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I could complain about that. That being said, yeah, I mean, we got to be Miami to get everything we wanted. We got to be Miami, but this wasn't the loss we was expecting. We was expecting it to. If we was gonna lose, it was gonna be Miami.
And lucky for us, Virginia is a solid team.
Yeah,
Uh,
then we solidly lost it because
the
somebody throws instead of taking sacks, he throws in the seven.
I was, and then I don't know, watching the broadcast. Apparently, Virginia had an anonymous donor like donate like $50 million or something crazy. So money, hey, money wins. That's all I said. But if we beat Miami next week, boy, I ain't gonna know how to act. But hey, let's go ahead and shift over to the people that get paid a lot more than these guys, the NFL. How you feeling, man? Well, how you feeling? What we learned? We are fully into the phase of the season where we pretty much know what some of these teams are. We know who the bad teams are. We know who the good teams are. We know who the middle teams are. We know who needs to go ahead and book their Cancun trips, and we know who's looking to see what type of hotels they probably can get in California for the Super Bowl. So
Okay, so the things what we have learned this so far in the NFL season for me is I think the biggest thing is the Baltimore Ravens might need a new head coach
yeah, might be that time.
because or it might be defensive coordinator, but it might be time for a new head coach. I think that's the biggest thing we have learned so far in this NFL season. That the
And the
Baltimore
biggest,
change it needs shaking up on the coaching line on
yeah,
the front.
the Ravens have been the biggest surprise in terms of a team that we thought was going to be good. That looks like they're ready for Cancun. We'll see what they look like this week. I believe they got the Rams. We'll see what they look like, but man,
That
they don't look like they're ready to play football.
now that schedule don't get no easier. Also Buffalo Bills still don't have a defense. Yeah, Josh Allen is the best quarterback. Is something that we also learned this year so far is the NFL. Josh Allen is the best quarterback, but he gonna have to turn into Joe Burrow putting up 40 points if his defense don't learn to hold people into the 20s.
Yeah. Uh, Something else I think we've learned that most of the time it's not the player, it's the organization.
Mm.
Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, even though Anthony Richardson I think was the player, but Daniel Jones, he's shown that he is a solid quarterback. He might not be the best, but he's definitely not as bad as he looked in New York. So I don't know. Maybe it just didn't work out that time around in New York, but it's working out in Indiana right now. We talked about it last year with Sam Darnold. We was giving him some MVP love. Obviously, the bottom eventually fell out those last couple games. We'll see how long Indiana Jones got. See if the bottom falls out.
Yeah, Sam Darnold's still playing good up there in Seattle.
Yeah.
We ain't never talked about this on the pod, but it was a big conversation, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it here. I think it's official that we can say Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback.
He's a product of system.
Jalen Hurts is a great guy. He is the great leader. Jalen Hurts played a game where they didn't throw the ball for a whole half. If that don't tell you what the team thinks about him, the people who's calling the plays, the people who's running the organization, well, run the organization as far as on the sidelines, that says a lot and it speaks volumes. Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback, and it's okay for us to say that. We not saying bro's a bottom 10 quarterback, but he's not
Definitely not.
he's not a top 10 quarterback.
I agree with you. The thing with quarterbacks, I say it's two things that makes quarterbacks great, and I'm gonna give you two different quarterbacks. Do they have this talent, and do they have the it factor? Jalen Hurts has the it factor. He has some talent. He's not like lack of talent. He has the it factor. And he's capable, especially when winning plays, he's capable of making one good throw to win a game. He's just not that consistent of a thrower of the football. But he has that it factor. I always say that two quarterbacks that's on the two far ends of the spectrum when it comes to that. You got Tim Tebow. He has that it factor. He ain't got no talent. In turn, my bad, Tebow. You got talent, but in terms of being a NFL caliber quarterback, you ain't got that arm. You ain't got it in you.
Nah, you ain't got it. He ain't have it.
You ain't have it. And then on the other hand, someone who has that talent but didn't have that it factor, Jay Cutler. Someone who could make every throw. People talked highly about him. He every throw, but they said he wasn't a leader and he didn't have the it factor. Those two on the end of the spectrum. You need both to be great. Tom Brady had both. He had that it factor. He didn't have a lot of talent coming in, but he developed the talented arm. So you need both. I think Jalen Hurts more so has the it factor than he does have the arm talent. He's not top 10, but he's definitely a quarterback in the right system that can win you a Super Bowl, as we saw last year.
Yeah. Would you want him as if you got everything around you right? Would you want Jalen Hurts? Yeah, because then he's the I'm gonna run through a wall for my guy type teammate.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts is that guy. If you got everything around him, that's great. But you got AJ Brown out here putting stuff on Twitter. You got Devontae, he over there doing the same thing. AJ Brown just got more attention because of it. So it's okay. And then you get then it's causing tension between AJ Brown and Saquon Barkley because they gotta have one. They had a one-on-one meeting, and they said
Yep.
it lasted an hour or two because of the fact them two going back and forth. Because Saquon was like, I mean, if we throw the ball 30, 40 times, that means I ain't getting no touches. But you can't complain about it.
Yeah.
That was a direct shot at the wide receivers. So that could create tension because you ain't got no balance. So Jalen Hurts, it's okay to say it's okay for us to say Jalen Hurts is not talent wise a top 10 quarterback. It's okay for us to say that.
Yeah.
That's not a knock on him, but it is.
He's
But
definitely he's definitely top five it factor though of all the
with a
quarterbacks.
question, yeah,
Might be top two. Might be top two. Um, lastly, for what we've learned, well, we're learning that the Cincinnati Bengals they're not trying to get to Cancun. They hit the red desperate button, but I don't think that red desperate button is gonna work, man. They got a 40-year-old quarterback behind that offensive line. They traded for Joe Flacco. Over under 2.5 games before he get hurt behind that.
uh, under, I'm gonna give it a half because they said he started. Yeah, why? I get it. You don't want to trade. You don't want to trade for like a young backup because of the fact Joe Burrow's coming back. But why you gonna go trade for Joe Flacco knowing he can't move and your offensive line is horrible? Yeah, he gonna be able to throw. He gonna be able to throw the ball up to
Jason T.
yeah, but he can also get popped upside his head, so he ain't gonna be playing there that long. I didn't. I ain't understand it. Also, I don't understand why the Cleveland Browns won't say that Shador is QB2.
That's malpractice, bro. Why wouldn't he be? You got a new guy, Zappy. He used to play for the Patriots. You took him from another team to put on your practice squad, and he's contention. He hasn't been with your team, and he's in contention to be QB2 when Shador's been. Do you not like him? Is either Shador Sanders is just that bad, or you don't like him? And I don't think he's that bad. We saw him in the preseason game. We saw him in two preseason games. One where he looked good, one where he didn't look good. Come on now.
Yeah,
Let's make him QB2 and call it a day.
Ohio football's a joke in the NFL wise.
Yeah.
NFL football wise, Ohio is a joke because the Cleveland Cavaliers can't get out their own way. I mean,
Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland
Cleveland.
Browns. See now I'm thinking about the NBA. The Cleveland Cavaliers can't get Cleveland Browns can't get out their own way, and then the Cincinnati Bengals can't stop a nosebleed, and now they got a Joe Flacco backer, and he gonna get popped, and he gonna end up having. Anyways, come on, bro. What y'all doing? NFL in Ohio. What y'all doing?
Yeah. But yeah, this NFL season it's been like some surprising things. Like the Chiefs, they don't look as good as we thought they was gonna look. I mean, the Chiefs are a team that they just gonna get to the they wait till they get to the playoffs. But they still feel like they should look a little bit better. The Ravens look awful. We talked about that. Jacksonville actually looks decent. I mean, I gotten off that Jacksonville bandwagon a couple years ago. I'm not getting back on it, but they look decent. Indiana looks like a really good team. It's just I was surprised, man. I'm surprised, but
I'm I'm not ready to say Indiana's a good team. Man. We gotta wait and see.
all right, well, can we talk about the game that had the craziest ending? You know, your Tennessee Titans versus the Arizona Cardinals. That was a lot of willy nilly stuff, but the Tennessee Titans pulled out the comeback victory and got their first win. As a Titans fan, how you feel?
It's better to be lucky than good sometimes, and we got lucky and we won. Because I was watching that first half of that game, and I was like, "Damn, we really are gonna go 0-17." Damn, man, like we really gonna be the first team to go 0-17. Like
Yeah.
that's
The first team to do it too. Like, damn. Well, as a team that went 0-16, we might break their record. Mm-mm-mm.
we gonna go 0-17. But we got one. You know what I'm saying? The interception situation, dude fumble. They pushed it into the end zone. We got it. All right, cool. We did look better in that second half. I ain't saying that much better, but
Really, the fourth quarter is when y'all look good.
we look better. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, not that much, but we look better. So, and then we might win a couple games this year.
I give it a 3-4.
I was 3-4 at the beginning of the season. Then I started saying, "Nah, we ain't gonna win none." But now I'm back to 2-3. We gonna get 2 or 3 of them things.
Hey, did y'all get y'all a good pick in the NFL draft? Hope you ready.
Yeah, number one overall pick again.
All right. But let's go ahead and get to the NFL pick'ems. Last week, it was I did all right. I didn't do great. Q, he did what you do better than me, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I did. You got two right. You got
I picked the
the
damn Cardinals.
you did. You got the Cowboys and the Vikings right. I got the Cowboys, Titans, and the Vikings right. We both got the Bills and the Chiefs wrong. So 14, I got 14. You got 11. So let's get it cracking. First on the docket, coming off the first victory of the year, Tennessee versus the Raiders. Who you got?
Both both teams don't look good. I think the Raiders is gonna look a lot better. Another thing, they starting to write you back, Gino.
What we learned this season? It might be time for Gino.
Yeah, it might be time for Gino. Uh, God, Gino just looks so off. I'm gonna ride with Tennessee. I think they arrived the momentum of a victory, even though it was a lucky victory. Better be lucky than good sometimes. And the Raiders don't look that good. Gino specifically.
Tennessee, we can win this game. We should win this game. I'm going with Tennessee. All right, next up, Cowboys versus the Panthers.
The Panthers had a nice little victory, but I gotta go with my Cowboys.
I mean, nothing. The
We
Panthers.
gonna we'll probably win like 35-28. They gonna score. Panthers gonna score.
I'm going. The Panthers did have a good game this past week, but I'm going with the Cowboys. The reason I'm going with the Cowboys is simple fact. I don't know if Bryce Young could put up 40. I feel like Bryce Young could put up 28, but to beat Dak,
Yeah, but 40.
you gonna have to put up 40 because Dak gonna put up some numbers, which I don't understand why y'all Cowboys fans be hating on him. He
I,
ain't.
I don't
He.
hate.
I know something to do. He don't be y'all problem. Yes, he do. He has some turnovers in key situations, but he don't be the problem majority of the time. That don't be your problem.
And most of the time when he has those turnovers, it's him trying to press because some other people got problems, mainly the
Yeah.
defense.
But all right, next up, 49ers versus the Buccaneers.
The Bucks look hot, bro. That's another thing we learned. What's in that? Why didn't Tampa Bay? They talking about MVP talk for Baker.
I think
Like I said, sometimes it's not the player, it's the organization. So I'm going with the Bucks though.
I think we gonna have MVP conversation soon. Indiana Jones and Baker, they might be the top two, which is crazy to think.
Real
Uh,
crazy.
I'm gonna go with Bucks, even though the 49ers have been looking good, even though Purdy was out. Mac Jones, they played a hell of a game this past week. So
Yeah.
shout out to Mac Jones coming in the backup, but I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. All right, next up, Lions versus Chiefs.
The Lions is hotter. Chiefs, they looking shaky, and yeah, they looking real shaky. Chris Jones, you got to hustle the football, by the way. I mean, I'm sure you've heard it, but hustle the football.
All right, so you going Lions?
Yep, Lions.
So for Vic, I think the Lions is going to. I think the Lions is going to win, but for victory purposes, I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
All right.
But I really do believe the Lions is going to win. All right, last up Monday night, Buffalo Bills versus the Falcons.
I got tough one. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna go with the Falcons. And side note, NFL, can we stop these double headers on Monday night? Please and
Yeah,
thank you.
you know I wasn't going to talk about that other one.
I
No, I
got
wouldn't.
the Falcons.
I'm going with the Bills.
All right.
And if you're gonna do a double, if you're gonna do a double header on Monday night,
Spread it up.
yeah, don't put both of them 1-7, 1-8. Put 1-7, put 1-10. Put 1-6 and put 1-9. Like, what are we doing?
Man, NFL, I know y'all trying to make y'all money, but it's really not gonna help with y'all making y'all money because they gonna you splitting the viewers up. Splitting the viewers up. But that'll do it for another episode from my perspective. That was our NFL pickings. Thank you. We really appreciate you guys for listening in every week to listen to our perspective takes on these sports. Please like, please subscribe, leave a comment. Pick who you think is going to win the games that we picked this week in the comment section. Link in the bio for some merch. Once again, I'm your boy Dion. Thank you again. I cannot thank you guys enough for listening to every episode from the bottom of my heart. We really appreciate y'all. Q, go ahead, take us home.
Man, you already know the badge. It's your boy, Mr. Bell, aka say your name up on this pod. Might not put you to mind. We're gonna catch y'all later.